Hi, this is Enrique Guerra Medina from Art Then and Now. Thank you for joining us today. This podcast is designed to bring you trends, insights, history, works, and biographies of artists around the world, broadcasted from an art studio in Lima, Peru. In today's show, we are going to talk about contemporary art. In a painting exhibition some years ago, I got the opportunity to give a speech to talk about the importance of art. I interviewed the participants who were there, so I knew from firsthand what was behind all their creations. Their motivation, their suffering, and the way they persisted to keep going in producing what we call art. All pieces were completely different styles, different painting schools, and I was very happy about being part of that group. The painting exhibition lasted for around 1 month. Some masterpieces were sold, and others weren't. Unfortunately, this is what we really have in mind when we think about masterpieces. A real masterpiece is that one when it is possible to make money with it because its market value. Along history, we have experienced great artistic movements that have given us what we call the aesthetic experience. That aesthetic experience is the most important value of a painting, a sculpture, or a piece of literary work. A piece of art is a mean to transfer an aesthetic experience. If a piece of art is not able to communicate an aesthetic experience, this is not a piece of art. At the present time, we are experiencing something totally unacceptable, and that is what it is called contemporary art. We can criticize all forms of contemporary art, but what we can see nowadays is that some pieces of art exhibited in museums and galleries are not able to give us that aesthetic experience that we used to have when we used to see real masterpieces. How is it possible to call art to something so gross like, for example, a banana skin placed over a green soap, surrounded by possibly putrid, spoiled fruit? How is it possible to call art to something like several pieces of butter smashed against the corner of a wall? How is it possible to call art to bottles of champagne on the floor mixed with pieces of streamer everywhere? These three examples that we gave you have a very interesting story. All of them were removed, wiped out, and cleaned from the rooms in our galleries where they were displayed. The ones who removed them were not the authorities of the museums or the galleries, but the janitors, the persons who were in charge of the cleaning. They literally confused them with garbage, so they removed them as such. The continuous degradation of art is a trend that we should stop. We can't accept garbage as pieces of art, even whatever the curator's interpretation could give to support the idea that garbage is art. We should not accept this garbage as a form of art. This degradation of art has become more noticeable by the prices that some rich people who are able to pay a fortune for this garbage have made the real art in something that has no meaning. We should start criticizing deeply to this form of expressions that has nothing to do with art. Real art is expression, is beauty, is communication. These pieces of garbage doesn't communicate anything other than just that, waste, garbage, something that is not healthy, something that is not good, and it is totally unacceptable for our senses and our intellectual capabilities. We are smart people. Smart people can be seduced by curators who are able to create imaginary concepts to support the idea that garbage can be seen as art. Besides this contemporary art that has no meaning, it is so simple that anyone can do it. It is sold on millions of dollars even during the hardest economical times in which, for example, United States went through. In 2008, during one of the worst economic crises in the United States, the buying and selling of pieces of art was a great business. A matter of fact, there wasn't any kind of depression in this market during this period, in opposition to the Wall Street standards that were completely down. Contemporary art is in its highest form, but it is a way of manipulating certain artists by giving his works the status of extraordinary pieces of art when, in matter of fact, we're talking about just garbage. Art has been, and it will be, the most wonderful and beautiful expression of humankind. Art is not something that can be bought or sold just by millionaires who don't know what to do with their money. Art is the highest form of our consciousness, the highest form of our feelings, the highest form of our emotions and our unconscious mind. We should work hard in defending art as it is, not the result of a stock market manipulation. As you enjoy this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast with your friends. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to build a special connection with you and your sensitivity for the arts. Have a nice day.